Furthermore, not only did the Jewish Zionists not steal land from the largely non-existent permanent population of Arabs, they actually paid the Arab owners of that land much more than it was worth at the time for it. So, knowing all of that, you might now be asking yourself, if that's all true, then what is all the conflict about? And that is an excellent question. Fortunately, it's one that the Palestinians have answered in their own words. Here is the charter for Hamas, who is the elected governing body in Gaza. Just to be clear, these are not my words. These are not subjective. These are the words of the leadership of Palestinians in Gaza. These are the words of those who would be considered the government if they were sovereign.
Israel will exist and will continue to exist until Islam will obliterate it just as it obliterated others before it.
Now, we're not going to read the whole thing. There are many passages that could be read, and a few have been highlighted, but you are strongly encouraged to either pause the recording and read the entire document here, or download and print it, or what have you, and read the whole text. In their own words, they describe what this document is. Quote,
"This covenant of the Islamic resistance movement, Hamas, clarifies its pictures, reveals its identity, outlines its stand, explains its aims, speaks about its hopes, and calls for its support, adoption, and joining its ranks. Our struggle against the Jews is very great and very serious. It needs all sincere efforts. It's a step that inevitably should be followed by other steps. The movement is but one squadron that should be supported by more and more squadrons from this vast Arab and Islamic world until the enemy is vanquished and Allah's victory is realized."
End quote. In the section called Definition of the Movement and Ideological Starting Points, it discusses how they are a wing of the Muslim Brotherhood, which has been known for decades as a terrorist organization internationally. It talks about raising the banner of jihad in the face of the oppressors, which, by the way, is not only Jews and Israel. It strives to, quote,
"Raise the banner of Allah over every inch of Palestine."
End quote. Which means that Israel would not exist. It does not mean peace side by side with Israelis. Here's another quote from the document. Quote,
"The day of judgments will not come about until the Muslims fight the Jews, killing the Jews."
End quote. This continues in the same manner for the remaining 15 pages. And for the sake of comparison, here is the Declaration of Independence of Israel so that you can see the difference. These documents represent the stated intentions in the words of each party. As you can see, they are drastically different in tone and general outlook. And this very much speaks to the truth about who wants peace and who really doesn't. The founding document reveals in no uncertain terms that the Jewish state of Israel is a democratic nation that guarantees equal rights to all of its citizens regardless of race, religion, gender, etc. And you will see that in stark contrast, the Hamas Charter is essentially 15 pages of Jew hatred, which discusses killing Jews and obliterating Israel, pushing it into the sea. Much of it is propaganda, some of which is wildly outlandish, and it shows us why there's conflict. There's conflict because the Arabs do not want Israel to exist, and will not stop until they get rid of all the Jews and obliterate Israel. That's again not an opinion, it's not a subjective conclusion, it's their own words and precisely what their stated intention is. This is consistently reaffirmed by their leadership and by the manner in which they're indoctrinating their children to continue to hate Jews and want to kill them.